Hey strangers, it's Farosty here. I just wanted to say really quickly, this episode is going to be in a bit of a different format than the other episodes. It was kind of impulsive, so Brandon, Richard, and Danny aren't on this one, but I told them that our guest this week is coming from LA to do a production in Pennsylvania, and I really wanted him on the podcast, so we drove up 3 hours. Me, Dawar, and Shamir, who you guys know from the Rono Pono videos, they really wanted to meet him as well, so we all did it together. He ended up being a super friendly and genuine dude, so I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. Just make sure that you are subscribed to us on the podcast app, you're following us on SoundCloud, and give us a like on Facebook. We're under Strange Flavors for all of those, and if you want to email us or send us your music that we play between the transitions and at the end, you can email us strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. I've got the links to all of our stuff in the description. Alright guys, thanks for listening, and here's the episode. What celebrity would play you in a Hollywood film?
Ryan Reynolds.
Hassan Minaj.
Dev Patel.
Shia LaBeouf. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Strange Flavors. It is another week, another stranger, another flavor. My name is Faraz.
My name is Dawar, aka Daywood.
My name is Shimmer.
And today we have a very special guest with us.
Labib, what's up, guys?
Yay!
Hey,
what's up, Labib? What's
gang,
going
gang.
on? So real quick, if you don't know Labib, he's our stranger on the show today. Labib has been on the popular React series on YouTube, which has 8 million subscribers, and it's made by the Fine Brothers, who have 16 million subscribers currently. And he's been on it since he was a teen, and now he does college kids react with them, and he has his own YouTube channel, which is like closer to 60K subscribers now. And he does MMA, and he's also of Pakistani descent like us. So yeah, Labib, thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, man. I was very excited to do this podcast, and guys, I've been looking at their stuff for a while. You know, Brown Code, all the parodies they do. So yeah, it's really cool to finally meet them.
Us so much.
Thank you for the love.
Yeah,
but this is about you. This podcast is about you, man.
It's about everything.
By the way, we're sitting in his hotel room right now. We're about to start burning up.
It's really hot in here.
It's getting super hot.
Yeah, this setup is like the most legit I've seen, but it's crazy because we're doing it in a small, basically motel hotel room, if that makes sense.
In Pennsylvania right now.
In Pennsylvania.
In the middle
of nowhere. There's a storm outside.
Yeah.
We drove 3 hours to meet Labib.
We linked up. Okay, it's a good story. The first time we all met was at a Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, yeah.
In the middle of a storm in
Bloomsburg.
Yeah. So if you're in Bloomsburg, shout out to you, but your town kind of sucks.
No. Actually, shout out to you because if you're still a cool person from this town, that means
if you're a cool person.
That's a lot coming out from you on the
you
inside.
You a real one.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You're showing your creative side.
But it's kind of like low-key, like a scary town. Like you'd see this in a haunted movie or something.
Oh, definitely. If you're stranded here and your gas runs out,
Imagine, dude, last night, the person knocked on my door. Couldn't tell who it was. I was like, man, I don't really want to go out this way. It's my first time alone.
And you were saying that was a random person?
Yeah. He knocked on the door. He seen me inebriated. I think he was probably drunk or something. And he had a motorcycle helmet on. And he banged on my door. And I thought for sure it's going to be Vince or someone, like the producers, to mess with me because they know, they always ask, okay, Labib, if someone knocks on your door, what are you going to do? I'm like, if I feel threatened, I'm going to go outside, fight, defend myself, right? Yeah. So I thought, it's going to be Vince or someone knocking the door. I look outside the little, thing where you can see someone outside. I'm like, oh shit, this is someone with the fucking, okay, am I allowed to cuss?
We don't really know anymore because people come on here and cuss all the time. We'll pretend you didn't.
Okay. So I looked through the little slit or whatever, and the guy had a motorcycle helmet on, and he was groaning and knocking. I was like, yeah, you're not supposed to be here. And he kept looking around, and to send a message back, I banged on the door back hard twice. I was like,
that's how you do it.
I was like, I was like, wrong place. And he's like, oh, my bad. And
dude, that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah, motorcycle, because
he could hit you in the head and you're knocked out.
If anything happens, I was saying, all right, I'm gonna have to level change on this phone, blast double, for real.
blast double
or body shots. I'm definitely can't punch him in the head. But
dude, Aitul Kursi, bro.
Aitul Kursi. That's
where's my wallet? Where's my wallet? I had it. It's in there. The little thing whenever I go on flights, my mom, she has to put in your wallet. So I was ready to go.
What is it, like a card?
Yeah, the card. Yeah, the card. Yeah, the card with the whole dwell in there. Yeah.
That's funny. But welcome to the East Coast. This is your first time here?
Not the first time on the East Coast, but the first time in Pennsylvania and this area. I've been to New York before because I've had family here and stuff like that. But my first time on my own, and the first time where I'm kind of like an adult now, I can function on my own. It's kind of weird if you think it's weird, right? When we grow up, it's before you need your mom to do everything, like hold your
Yeah.
hand, and I'm out here in a freaking hotel room doing like a podcast. This is
Hotel room doing a podcast.
This is crazy. I mean, it might not be like, you know, it would be cool if I'm in my own hotel room
grown
with
man
like
stuff, bro.
2 bottles of whiskey and like I got girls coming through. But instead, I'm doing a podcast with 3 of my boys.
Nah, you're not Nav, bro.
I'm
You're
not.
not
Oh
Nav.
yeah,
Stop
I'm
trying
not
to be Nav.
I don't have tablets like I'm Best Buy or whatever.
Tablets like I'm Best Buy.
Oh yeah, all these lines he has.
No, but yeah, welcome to the East Coast. We got farms here, we got beaches here, we got the
We got
nice
cities.
cities.
Greenery,
We got
mountains.
we got Nazis here.
We got all of the above.
Is that weird for you? Because like the I guess the stereotype is that like, you know, West Coast people are like super mad chill and everything.
Liberal.
And
Very
East Coast
liberal.
we're hype over here.
Yeah.
Everybody like, you know, especially New
Working
Yorkers
hard.
like, hey, what are you doing? So it's like, you know, we got
It's
some
a
some
different-
stuff cracking over here.
It's a different level of energy, but same, like, I don't know, like me as a person, it's almost of a combination because I'm like very relaxed and like get along with most people, but at the same time, like I like to get hyped up, hyper, and like if I go somewhere, I'll randomly like hit up a person, like, yo, what are you doing? Like if someone's driving on the road and like they say what's up to me, or like I'll say what's up like right back and say like nice shot, like random stuff, the most
Yeah.
random stuff. So it's like East Coast and West Coast combined, like it's fun being out here, like the energy's dope. But so far, you know, like Pennsylvania, just like
Yeah, he's
just-
also in Bloomsburg, so he
it's just
hasn't
been, it's just been like white people looking at me like, oh wow, you have a little darker skin there.
They're just looking at you a little bit funny.
Oh yeah, dude, like especially
Yeah.
like waitresses, like they've never seen like a brown like Middle Eastern person, like they're like, oh, what's you need more coke in that or what?
So yeah, I mean, we were just kind of highlighting kind of like where you started from, how we know you in the first place. So can you talk to us a little bit about like how you got started with like the Fine Brothers?
Okay, so the whole YouTube thing,
Yeah.
like the most random thing in my life. So basically, I was watching the Fine Brothers before I even got on. I was seeing kids
Yeah,
react,
Kids React,
kids
yeah.
react, stuff like that. And Teens React already started too. I think they're like 6 months in or something. And I was like, man, this is a dope show. Like, this is really cool. And I was already a YouTube fan as it was. Like, I started watching YouTube with like guys like Nika Higa and How to Be a Gangster. You know those like
Classic.
Yeah, the
iconic
classics.
classic stuff
Iconics.
Love that stuff.
back in like 6th grade. And I was like, yo, this is dope. You know, I'm a fan of this stuff. Beforehand, actually, funny story is the Fine Bros did a search for like a Teens React person to come in for one episode. And I tried this out when I used to be like
Like it was an audition?
yeah, like
Okay.
I was like one special episode, and I was like, this is my opportunity to be on it.
How'd you find out about it?
I was online. It was on their own video, right?
Oh, okay.
It was their video. And this is when I tried this out when I was fat, actually, back in the day. And I didn't get on. I didn't get an email back.
Dang.
And I was like, damn, that sucks. I really want to try this show out. Whatever. And what happened, right? Started my diet a couple months later. 6 months later, I lost 110 pounds, right?
Dang.
Like, that's a different fucking story, whatever. But, they had an audition on Facebook out of nowhere. And I was like, you know what? It's there. Let's try it again. This time I sent in my pictures and information about myself, and I got an email back saying, oh, here's a questionnaire. Fill this out, and we'll let you know. About a week later, they said, oh, we film here and here. Come in for, like, an audition or your first taping. And it was crazy because literally this was, if I didn't decide to log in on the Facebook that day, literally that second, or if I click something else instead of Fine Bros, I would have never seen it.
Wait, so are you saying because the weight changed that you think you got it the second time, or?
I maybe by chance something. I don't know what it was.
Would you ever ask them that, or?
They don't know.
Oh.
They don't even know that. I don't, because they get so many applicants. They don't even know that I tried to get on the first time.
Dang.
I've actually never told anyone. This is the first time I'm saying on a podcast.
wow.
Oh, exclusive.
Exclusive.
Extreme
This
flavors.
is actually exclusive.
Dang.
No one,
Boom, 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 boom.
other than like a couple of my homies, no one ever knows I tried to get on React
Yeah.
before when I was bigger. I never didn't get an email back.
Did you possibly think it'd work out like this? Like
Never in a
It
million
was
years.
fate.
Oh wow.
Never in a million years. So I saw the post, and then I was like, oh, let me try it out. You know what? I didn't even think in the mindset, oh, now that I'm skinny, I'll get on. It's like, oh, this is like a Facebook post to become like a regular or whatever. And this is the first time they're ever taking auditions, because usually they did their stuff through casting websites. And I was like, oh, I'll do it. Why not? So I did it, and it happened. They emailed me back. I went in, and I thought I bombed it. I was like, wow, that was really bad.
What was the audition like? They just asked you to react to something?
It's just like a normal
regular
filming.
show,
You
okay.
come in. Back then it was different process because like it was smaller.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You come in, they show you a video. It's crazy. I was like, my head was like, yo, what's going
Like
on?
it's happening.
I'm really here.
Yeah.
Like I'm really here doing this now, and I'm sitting like. In the first time I went into film, the first person that came down the elevator was freaking Leah Marie Johnson. the GOAT of Teens React,
Uh-huh.
right? And I was like, oh, play cool. You can't act like you're a fan or
Is that
something,
the blonde
right?
girl?
Yeah, the
Okay.
really famous blonde chick, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't act like I was a fan because like I can't, gotta be kind of cool, you know what I mean?
Cool to be.
Exactly. So like I was just looking over my paperwork and contracts, like making big moves in LA, like looking over with my mom and stuff. She was walking with her manager, so I didn't even say hi. I was like, I'm too busy looking at this money, you know what I mean? 16-year-old Labib never hugged a girl in his life. Doesn't even like nothing, like because I went into the audition a month after I lost the weight, so it was like a 180. Like my life was a new thing. Like it was a new thing. So
Brand new Labib.
Yeah, I'm walking in and I didn't say hi to her, and I don't know where she turns around and says, "Hey, I'm Leah." And in my head, I'm like, I know who you are. Hey, I'm Labib. What's up? So whatever. I go up, and then it's like the whole process. You have your call time. Be sure you're on time, and they say, oh, you're up. You go inside.
Mm-hmm.
First time ever meeting Benny and Rafi, I was mad tripping hard. I was like, this is real.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like I saw the Teens Rock wall behind me, and I saw them in front of me. And I was like, man, I've seen so many episodes of this show and everything, and they're in front of me. Like I'm watching them. Like I'm like a fan of the show already. So I'm sitting there, and we start doing the thing, and like I said one or two funny things that like they laughed at, but overall I thought I was like, oh, that was not good.
Yeah.
I blew my shot, right?
Wow.
Whatever. And then back then, if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys watched back then, it was like Teens React was the only type of React video back in the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they would release Teens React every 2 weeks, right? Because they
Yeah.
hadn't had kids.
It was all on the Fine Brothers
Yeah,
channel.
Fine Brothers only and stuff like that. And then videos came out every Sunday, and we filmed Saturday or Sunday or something. And the next day, a new video comes out, right?
Mhm.
Back then, I had no idea what editing was. So my video didn't drop. I was like, oh my God, I did so bad. They deleted the whole video.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh no, it was that bad. Heartbroken. I was like, And this was right when winter break started. So 3 weeks of winter break, just like depressed. Depressed, like nothing.
Dang.
A couple weeks later, right? Out of nowhere, on their Facebook page, it says, boom, Teens React to Dumb Ways to Die drops tomorrow. I'm like, yo, I'm in that episode.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And the preview, the bonus had my face on it. I was on the thumbnail. I was like, what? I'm on the thumbnail for my first one? I was like, okay. And there's a preview. They don't show you what it is, what's a preview. The next morning I opened it up. I was on the thumbnail, but I literally said nothing. I was like, wow, this is really, really bad. I said one joke, and they cut me off the rest, and I'm just like touching my face. I look awkward, and like now I know why these actor kids take care of their skin. I look yellow on there. It's bad. Like it's really bad, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. We did it once. It's fine. The next morning, the first day of spring semester happens. I come home. I check my email. It's from the production people. It's like, hey, we loved you, and we want to make you part of the regular cast.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
I was mad tripping. I was like, no way. They said they want me to be part of the regular cast. And then from there,
Dude, you were also like the only brown boy, right?
only
Yeah.
first Pakistani kid, only Pakistani
First
kid.
brown
on
boy.
this.
That's crazy.
Dude, do you
First brown
understand
boy,
how like
first brown kid to ever, like, I
Yeah.
don't care, like, what they say, like, first brown boy on YouTube.
Let 'em know.
Like,
Let
I don't
'em
know.
know.
No one got these. Like,
Let 'em
there's
know.
obviously Zayd Ali and stuff, like, on
Yeah.
an individual level, but you don't got Fine Bros numbers. I don't
no,
care.
dude. So like when Kids React was big and everything, and then when so I'd been watching.
It was all
them,
white
and then
people.
When I saw Teens React and I saw you, do you understand? Like, and I'm speaking on my behalf because I feel like this is the feeling that a lot of kids had. So this is like as a Pakistani kid, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I
and
got
then I was
super
immediately
hyped.
like.
That was
Yo,
all the
okay,
tweets I
what's
used
his
to get.
name?
Yeah.
What's his name? Labib Yasir. Okay, I'm gonna find out everything about
Yeah.
this guy because I want to know him and I want to like support.
That's
the
crazy.
crap
That's
out
so
of
awesome
him.
to hear. That's really cool to hear. I've seen those messages like on my Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a very different feeling when I see it in person. Because like,
Yeah.
I love it. That's why like I rep the whole thing so hard. People
Yeah.
think I'm like, trying to like increase a certain following from this and there, and I'm like, no, dude, because I know. Literally, when I got started on that YouTube thing, there was no Pakistani people who were like doing anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was when they sent me the email saying like, oh, we want you to be part of the regular cast now. You don't know, like I was like, this is crazy because I knew like literally 7 months ago I wanted to be a guest for one episode, didn't happen, but instead I became a regular. I was like, from that day after I lost all the weight and that happened too. I was like, I can do anything in my life. Anything's possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's deep.
if anything's gonna like, if God wants it to happen, it will happen no matter what. From then I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about anything. I changed. My mom and parents want me to become pre-med. I was like, nah, I'm becoming business marketing and stuff.
Okay.
Everything. I was like,
Your
you know,
shift of
I was
everything.
like, no, this is happening.
Because you got your chance.
Everything's happening by
Yeah.
itself. Like if we go into the weight loss thing, no one thought I'd ever do it. Everyone made clown me.
Yeah.
I remember the day I decided to do it. My dad, I came home from practice. I was furious. I was throwing everything out of the fridge, pissed off, right? Like, because I couldn't do a certain stretch in karate, and I was like mad at myself, like, how bad have you let yourself go that you can't touch your knee, right? I was angry at myself, so I was throwing everything out of the fridge, and then my dad came home later that day. He was like, "Why are you throwing everything out?" And my mom said, "Oh, it's because he's going on a diet, right?" He said, "Oh, diet, so he's gonna gain back 5 plus more 5 by next week." And by the time he said that, I was like, no.
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
And my first goal was 50, and I ended up losing 110 instead.
And
Wow.
what was this time span of that?
6 months.
6 months.
What
That's
was the
crazy.
process then? What'd you do? Like,
This braziness every day, like 8-mile runs every day, and like my morning breakfast was like on some like Steve Cook bodybuilding shit. Like it was like 1 scoop of oatmeal, 1 scoop of protein. I would cook it at home the night before.
Meal prep.
Yeah, wake
Yeah.
up the next morning, eat at high school, and it's like all jelloed out because I made it the night before, so it's like cold, no sweetener, nothing. For lunch, salad. Came home, cardio can of tuna, and dinner 4 ounces of chicken, like tandoori chicken.
Yeah.
Gotta have some flavor.
yeah.
Brown rice and spinach. That's it.
Dang.
For 6 months straight.
Did you ever like want to give up or?
No. It was addicting. I like straight up from it. I like got an eating disorder too, because like whenever I wanted, like if I was at a house party or or if I was at some auntie's house, she'd be, eat some biryani. You're getting so skinny. I would literally get mad at myself than mad at her. It was like, because honestly, now that I know about nutrition, eating biryani would have done nothing. Like I would have still lost weight. But at that time, I was so like addicted to the process. If someone brought up like just eat this chicken or like this biryani or pulao, I'd get pissed off. Like craziness.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I would be angry. I would like slam the doors and like go upstairs. And now I look back and I was like, man, you had an eating disorder, like really bad.
Yeah.
Man, I
You're
learned from
committed
it.
to it though. That's awesome.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Once it's like personally for me, it's like when someone's like, you can't do this shit.
Oh, you
It's,
like go
it's,
ham.
it's a wrap.
It's a challenge.
wrap.
Dang.
Especially when my dad said it, like it hit so hard. I was like, my dad literally said, yeah, he says this every time. He's gonna be 5 pounds heavier next week. And I was just
Wow.
like, when you need to get, I just got fed up with myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know how you have like those thoughts sometimes like late at night, like you think to yourself like you talk all this, but you're doing that in real life.
Mhm.
So I was like, since I was 12, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a pro fighter one day. I'm gonna be in the UFC. But I was saying like, you can't even do a push-up. Who the fuck are you gonna fight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's from there, I was like, nah, I gotta change it.
W-
And then from there, yeah.
Go ahead.
When did you like want to start becoming, part of UFC and
It's happened. Actually, going to karate,
MMA.
MMA?
UFC.
Yeah, sorry.
it's going into karate and like MMA and stuff was also like kind of by chance too, because in elementary I was really into football, actually really into football, and I played with a lot of the high school kids and stuff. In elementary, like I was bigger but I had a good arm. I played QB. I was big, so I didn't run or anything, but I had good accuracy and good timing. So in those 5 seconds they would almost blitz me, I would usually get the pass down the field, whatever.
Mhm.
But only issue was if you got past 5 seconds, I would get probably hit, and like because movement, you can't move being big as a kid. So instead, my parents like, look, you should lose weight first, and then we'll look into it. So my dad put me in a karate studio when I was 11 years old for the summer after 6th grade, and I started training that summer and like started liking it. It was fun. I always liked fighting as a kid. Like I would just like mess around like Power Rangers, like just kick random stuff. My mom would be like, yo, calm down, what are you doing? And then I started liking it. I started sparring, which is like practice fighting.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty easy for me just to like, when I was fighting the kids, like their timing was just slow. So they would be doing something kind of scary. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna hit them real quick, and I'll just get them. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this. And it's an addicting feeling knowing you can just like hit someone before they hit you, or like they can hit you, move your head around, or they try to do something and you're just like chilling. So I got addicted to it, and I kept training. I got my black belt in Hapkido under my first place, and I started doing kickboxing. And I started fighting Muay Thai when I was 16, and then I kept going. And then from there, I went into sparring, like into jiu-jitsu and then MMA, and like it just progressed. But it literally, me going into MMA happened because of trying karate for the summer in 6th grade.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you had like this huge just peak of like first you just like set this challenge for yourself.
Yeah,
You started
it-
losing all this weight, and then you got into like fighting, got better at that.
Mhm.
Then you got into this reacting. Did you have like a huge ego boost at that point?
Not
Or,
really.
like,
I was
humbleness?
still. I was pretty. I would say like I was always confident. You know,
Yeah.
even when my mom always laughed at me because I don't have those videos anymore on my computer. I actually used to make old YouTube videos. UFC predictions when I was fat.
Okay.
I call myself the Beast from the Middle East,
Hey.
and I used to do UFC predictions. I was like, oh, Lyoto Machida is gonna win by second round KO. Fat K is sitting in front of the webcam talking, or even I would do stuff like go on the webcam and lip sync.
Hey.
I was doing
Yes.
musically before.
Oh,
Musical.ly
you were
was a
the
thing.
Numa guy.
Dude, not only no, not only Newman. I was doing stuff like Ti. Like I thought I was light skinned. I was like a 180-pound sixth grader.
That's awesome.
Like unbelievable confidence.
That is
And I was like,
awesome.
"Where's this coming from? Like, have you seen yourself?"
No, so you said you weren't
I wasn't like I was confident to
Yeah.
myself, but in public, very very shy.
Okay.
When I graduated high school, most people didn't know I went to my school until second semester. Because after I lost the weight, they thought I transferred.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like,
So
no,
That's what's up.
I'm
though.
like,
Yeah.
no, I'm Labib. Like,
Flex
you're
on 'em.
Labib.
Go
Like,
ahead.
what the heck?
Yeah.
I didn't flex. I was just like, yeah, I'm Labib. And I never talked about my YouTube stuff in high school either.
Okay.
Because it just is
Oh,
like,
so you were just kind of low key.
yeah, because
Dude, that's
It was
awesome.
just a personal
I
type
respect
thing.
yeah,
that.
because my high
Respect
school,
that.
like,
That's
there was most of the kids are like different. They
Yeah.
you got Instagram followers, like, let's be homies, let's link up, let's collab. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Let's
you
let's
don't want
create.
to
sad.
be used. You want to be liked
That's
for
so
yourself.
Yeah. So
That's what's
most of
up,
the
dude.
kids found out on this thing called grad night when all the kids we go to Disneyland, right?
Okay.
All the high schools go there.
Yeah.
So when you go to Disneyland, where all the other high school kids are there, high school kids watch Change React.
Oh, so you started popping off.
So
in
people started
Disney.
asking for photos, and all
Dang.
the Instagram famous in quotes, whatever, I don't know what they had
Yeah.
back then. Girls from school like, why are people taking photos of you? I was like, oh, I just do some videos and stuff. And in class, if someone ever found out like why do you have like 9K? I was like, I bought them or something. Like I would say shit like I would say shit I bought
Humble
them. Or,
Labib.
no, because I know like
Yeah.
like they know what I know
No.
what they want.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
what they
definitely.
want. So I was like, oh, I bought them. Like I'm like, oh, I'm Pakistani. We buy like Arab followers. I would say that I would
Arab
say
followers.
I would
Doing
say
the most.
I would say the most random shit to get them off my case because I
Yeah.
didn't want to explain it.
Yeah.
Because usually anyone would find out is because like if the video ended up being on the front page, and then in class I remember in AP Environmental Science like my homie, I didn't even tell him. He showed like, yo, is this you? And I'm like, yeah. Like
It might be. There's another kid that
I'm
looks
like,
like me.
yeah.
So you were
She's
getting
like, nah, bro, you're racist. That's not me.
So at grad night, that's where it popped off. Like all
Yeah.
the kids, they're like, oh, like I remember like this one Instagram girl at her school. She had like crazy followers. She had 40K back in high school. That's a lot.
Yeah, that
like, 40K
is. Yeah.
back then. And
Right
she was
now, I think it's
Yeah.
still.
yeah,
That's
it's
still
even,
a
yeah,
lot.
even now, like it's
Still a good
crazy.
amount.
Yeah.
And she had like she was friends with like the Kylie Jenner squad, like all those people, right?
Dang.
And then she saw me like people taking photos of me. She was like, oh, I didn't know you do stuff. I'm like, yeah, like some videos here and there.
Nothing. So you were you said you weren't getting hugs back then. How many hugs are you getting nowadays?
Mashallah, brother. We stay halal. No
Mashallah, brother.
Alhamdulillah,
The halal
brother.
gap.
Alhamdulillah, brother. No,
Halal.
No, but like going off this like YouTube whole thing, I'm always like curious, like are kids in LA growing up like does everybody kind of want to be like in the entertainment, or like does everybody kind of like always is trying out?
Not really at all.
Really?
Not really at all.
Like not even trying out or auditioning, like
Mm.
stuff comes up here and there.
Maybe my school, the area I'm from like the Valley area, and my school, there's been like a lot of kids who like there's parents and stuff who've been within the industry, so they're like they've done that as a childhood and maybe tried it out at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most kids, nah, they're doing their own thing. Like unless you're in that vibe, like I have friends who are into film and they're like DPs or like directors and doing stuff like that, studying.
Mm.
But most people are normal, dude. Like most of my friends, bio majors, like going to like UCLA. All my fight friends, they don't know what the heck this is. They just do normal, like it's
Yeah.
normal to me, but like just compete and stuff like that. But it's not as crazy as like if you grow up in LA, it's not that big. But everyone who moves into LA, they all think,
Is
yeah,
into
man,
that,
I'm
yeah.
here to become
Like 'cause
famous.
you see all the
or whatever.
YouTubers and the Viners
Yeah.
like all moving into LA, so it's
They're-
like, is that where?
Talking to them is so different. It's so weird because their
Okay.
perception of LA is so different than mine. For me, LA is home. Like I'm
Right.
like this
Yeah.
whatever. I'm here and I ended up on this path of like doing this stuff, but it was never intended. But these people have literally like given up everything in their life to come out here and you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
make it happen. Like the dream. Like I know someone who moved out from Baltimore or Maryland actually, or I think something.
Baltimore's in Maryland.
Or oh yeah, my bad. Or Pennsylvania, somewhere over there. He drove all the way to LA
Dang.
to live a life, and like I think even now he's like living out of his car and stuff, like to
Yeah,
make
I
it happen.
I know a
That's
lot of
crazy.
stories like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
in LA. That's why I'm always wondering, like,
Yeah, to make it happen.
Is it really like popping like that over
Mhm.
there?
There's people out here really wanting it to be like that, but if also you when you grow up in LA, you also know it doesn't really work that way either.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
lot of these people who are in it, it's because they have mad connects in the industry. Like their parents are friends with like a DP or a producer or a camera operator or like homies with like Will Smith. Like somehow like they worked on
It's all
some projects back.
connections.
Yeah, it's a lot of connections.
Yeah.
A lot of
Wow.
that.
Is this something that you were kind of always interested in? Like, I mean, especially with where you're going now, is it kind of something that you have to be like, you know,
No, dude, I don't like. I'm not really interested in any of like becoming an actor. It hasn't crossed my head at all.
or like entertainer in general? Like,
Entertainer,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, as a kid, I'll be honest. I always maybe like something. I'm like maybe people who want to have fame or like lacking something. Maybe I like lack love from someone or some shit. But ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be like, oh, I want to be famous, kind of like I want to be
Yeah.
known for something.
Okay.
I want to be. I don't know what I want to be known for, but ever since I was a kid, I liked attention. Like like being a famous actor or something would be cool. I don't know what it was, but like I thought the idea was dope that people know you just for you. It's cool. So maybe because of that in my head, it ended up like I kept pursuing even fighting. It's like you're basically like most of the fighters you compare. If you're a fighter, you're basically a stripper. You're fighting in the middle in front of everyone, no
Yeah.
clothes on, for money. That's it. You're a prize fighter. You're fighting for someone's cash at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's similar. So there's definitely something like psychologically like that makes me want to be like get recognized for something and do that. It might be positive or negative, but it's there. And same thing. That's why like with stuff now, like whatever path I end up on, like I am considering doing like maybe commercial acting stuff like that. Haven't dived in it yet because I'm focused on YouTube right now. But yeah, it's weird. Ever since I was a kid, I was always like I want attention or like fame, but I never knew why.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Would you ever like blend in MMA and YouTube? Like,
That's basically my whole plan since I was like 16. That's why I wanted to do Teens React.
okay.
Because I knew like if I was there's a lot of fighters, a lot of good fighters, and I think some of the best fighters are probably not even known. They're probably out there in the mountains of Afghanistan or Uzbekistan or Russia, in the farms. They probably break me in half with the type of lives they live daily on the farm and stuff. There's a different strength in them, you know what I mean? Like mountain men.
Yeah.
They could probably break me, whatever.
Farmers.
Exactly. But they will never get the exposure or be known because their brain is it's programmed in the way of saying, oh, I'm a real man, I fight, I'm strong, I don't need this YouTube, Instagram stuff, I'm just whatever. That's great, but to actually do something and go with it, you have to be smart, you know what I mean? That's why I respected Conor McGregor when he first came up so much, because he knew everyone can be a great fighter, but getting that paycheck or getting to the top, it has to be a systematic way. So the whole question with YouTube and the MMA thing is when I was like getting into the whole fight scene, I was like, okay, to make money off this or anyone knowing me or getting a big payday or like ending up the main event, people have to know me and come out to watch me.
Yeah, you have to
And I
be
said
a public figure.
YouTube is the
Yeah.
perfect way to do this.
Yeah.
So if I'm a YouTuber, I don't know any other YouTuber who fights MMA. I don't know any other YouTuber who fights MMA is Pakistani, and I don't know any MMA fighter who does YouTube and is Pakistani.
Yeah.
So I
You
was
kind of
like,
make your own unique thing.
Exactly.
With combining
Yeah.
all those things.
and at the same time, I always thought, education's key. So go to school, be educated. I can fight. Like, it was like a triangle offense situation.
And
So I
you
was-
said you're studying marketing in
Marketing,
school
yeah.
right now.
So I
Okay,
always
so
went
you
to
know, you're-
business. So I was like, marketing. It's already a strong thing. Let's use this to make everything stronger.
Okay.
Dude, that's
gotcha.
awesome. He's building like a trifecta.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Trifecta
good.
has been
it's
in my
all going
head.
towards like one.
Yeah,
center goal
it's hard to
eventually.
explain sometimes to people like my coaches or my teammates. Sometimes they think I'm being lazy or something. Some days I'm focusing more on the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
But there's an end goal in mind that I have. It's just
Yeah,
hard
you
to
gotta
explain to
balance it
everyone.
out.
Or sometimes if I can't film, like recently, like sometimes I've shot collabs and I've left early, and people in the comments like, "Yo, why do you leave early?" They don't know I have practice. I have to go I'm training for a fight, or like I can't make it a practice. Or I can't go to practice because I have a test or I have online studying. Like it sometimes seems to people like, "Oh, I'm like slacking somewhere," but really there's an end goal in mind that I'm focused on. But it's
Yeah.
hard to explain to people.
So like going back to like growing up in LA and everything, what's it like being like a Muslim and of Pakistani descent? Like do you have like a strong community, or like, how are you perceived there?
There's definitely a strong community of Muslims. Maybe not as much as Pakistani. The area I'm from is the valley, which it's a lot of what do you call a lot of Persians, Afghan, Israeli, Jewish people. Pakistani community is stronger, probably like 30, 40 miles away. But to be honest, it's been always hard to relate to them. I've never related to a lot of my like fellow Pakistani people. Like my mom's kind of raised me differently. Like she never was into like, you know, like auntie talks, like that stuff. She always got annoyed by that stuff. Or like kids always arguing over rain. Like I don't know, you know how brown communities
The
are.
brown mentality, competition, everything.
My mom never liked it. My mom never liked it. So I grew up with a lot of different like cultured kids. Like some of my best friends are kids like he was Russian, Vietnamese.
Okay.
One was Indian. So we were like that, and I never like really. I had a good Pakistani friend. He's still one of my best friends now, but like I never like got too deep in the Pakistani community.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times, like since they knew I hung out with a lot of different kids, I didn't have like the same mindset of like, oh, I go home, I watch dramas, or I drink chai every day, or I do stuff like that. It was hard for me to relate to people, or like I was one of those kids who like never liked like they but it all, you know, like all this foods and stuff. I would always be like, I mean,
Culturally, you weren't that intact, but
I wasn't
you said-
intact,
okay.
but like so that made me excluded by a lot of the other people.
Okay.
So it just kept pushing me. But now it's so different because now I'm like, oh, like I want to be more involved with it. So it's like I just connect with people directly, like mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't look at like what your mom makes for food, or like you
Yeah.
know this. You know,
Well, I
petty-
think also it's when you're younger, growing up, especially, it's
your
like
parents dictate who you hang out with. Almost, you know what I mean?
yeah, and like also being different, like you kind of feel like, okay, I need to find how I blend into everybody, and if you see another Pakistani kid, you're like, okay, I can't like be associated because I don't want to get mixed in. But then when you get older, you're like, you know, there is this community of like Pakistani Americans where it's like, you know,
It's so sick.
some of these kids, they don't like ballet and
Yeah,
cricket
it's
and all
so-
that,
yeah,
and they don't
exactly.
speak Urdu, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm sure you're starting to find that a little bit more now.
Exactly. I, like as a kid,
That probably goes with all of us.
Yeah.
Truly, because as a kid, think about it. There's an X amount of people you're gonna talk to. You know what I mean? And
Right.
if that's the only thing you see within your community, you're like there's no one for me to relate with. But as you get older, your horizons, you know, expand. You end up doing podcasts in Pennsylvania with your homies. You know what I mean? Like it gets like that. So yeah. But definitely slowly I'm loving it. Like I'm meeting more Pakistani people, especially Pakistani American like community. And that's like one of my big goals is like be a big like
Role model.
Yeah, I want kids to
Do you feel that? Do you feel like a sense of responsibility? Like,
oh yeah. I definitely not like
to
from
do
a,
the right
from a
things.
cocky reason. I don't think like, oh, just because people like see me, I'm a role model. It's dude, straight up. Like if you do end up building a following, you can, you know, try to be deep and say like I didn't choose this life. Like I don't have to be a role model to anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you have it. It is
Yeah.
what it is. Like
Yeah.
this life chose you. You know what I mean? And depending on how you want to lead people will follow what you do at the end of the day. Like if you like it or not, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So me being me, that's why I love like, you know, keep it halal, whatever, like that's haram, whatever.
Yeah, like
'Cause,
throwing
like,
a little cultural
yeah,
twist in
because
there.
why not? People should know about it. And
Definitely.
I think it's key. Like I don't promote drinking, smoking, any of that stuff in my videos. I'm like, just do, and I say from like I don't do it because of religious and sports. Like both those things have kept me away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always preach it. Like I'm
Yeah.
not saying everyone has their own life. I'm not saying it's bad. You're a bad person if you do it. Whatever. This is just how I live.
That's how you live your
This is
health
this is how I
conscious.
live my life. Keyword
Sure,
my life.
Sure.
If you do it, I have nothing against you. Some of my best friends, they party every day.
Hmm.
The kids who go to SC, they do like shit, like they do coke and like crazy stuff. They do their
Uh-huh.
thing. They're college kids. I have nothing
Yeah.
against. They're living their life. It is not my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I just preach how I live my life on my channel.
Definitely.
And it's good that you're doing that because like with everything that's going around, especially in the US with like Muslims, like it's good to see like positive, just genuine, like but just like South Asians in general in the limelight that are doing these positive things, while because like normally the media is portraying us as like
In
terrorists
such a
or
different
something.
way, exactly, yeah.
Dude, Hassan Minhaj was like, "There's a brown renaissance coming."
Yeah, big
Like,
time, dude.
yeah,
There's
definitely.
There's a
Riz Ahmed was on
Riz
the
Ahmed-
Time cover, and that's what he was saying is like Jimmy Fallon was asking him like, you know, what does it feel like being on the Time magazine cover? And he was just kind of like saying this thing where he's like, you know, it's not about me. It's about like, you know, that little kid that sees this magazine and sees another guy that looks like him.
And it's related.
It's not
Exactly.
about Riz
Yeah.
Ahmed. It's
So
about
much
you know,
bigger.
that kid.
the message,
That kid. It's
exactly.
about the
Because
kid.
think about it, the brown culture, we're either always portrayed as that nerdy kid who was to MIT or is you gonna, you know, do your
7-Eleven.
computer or something like that,
Donuts.
or he's like the terrorist. There's never been like, yo, you're like a
Just
dope
chill.
like dude.
Just
who-
casual.
Yeah, casual.
Yeah.
Why can't I
Person.
be just a casual dude, man? I just like do
Exactly.
my thing. Yeah.
Like
So it's
I'm
really-
waiting on a brown superhero. Like
Brown.
that would
That'd be so
sick.
funny.
That'd be sick. That'd
like
be so
especially
sick.
with what's going on in the world right now, to see a brown person as a superhero
Yeah.
portrayed, like that would be amazing.
That'd be
we asked
crazy.
this question on Brown Code. What do you think would be like
Yeah.
a superpower for a brown superhero?
A superpower of a brown. I could be super stereotypical and be like, say some shit about food. I'm sure you got a lot of answers with that.
Showing up on time.
I was just about to say that. You read my mind.
I was thinking Aladdin is kind of like our brown superhero coming up.
Man, they fucking
Almost.
ruined that shit.
Why?
Bro, the way they didn't like, they overdid the casting thing and like just made it into a whole like mess, other than just doing the correct way right off the bat. You know, that's annoyed me
Okay.
instead.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know like there's so many people out there. You don't have to do this.
Yeah, there's
Like,
so many talented
yeah,
people.
they
out there.
had to do it. But if he had a superpower, I think it would be always maintaining a 4.0, some shit like that. No matter how crazy the world gets, whatever
Yeah.
happens,
Maintaining
always
a
come back
4.0.
with maintains a 4.0 GPA.
That's what matters at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
at the end of the day, school over everything. Yeah.
Your girl's a 10, my son's a 4.0.
Oh,
There you go.
Damn,
Where
where
did
that tonight?
where did the name Pakistani Playboy come from?
I swear to God, I did not plan it, do anything.
Hey, all
Oh,
respect, man. That's
yeah.
a good name to have.
Yeah, that's
No,
a good
it's
name.
not.
It's
It's
a
like
dope
the
name.
Pakistani Pendu.
Oh my God! Imagine. I don't think my friends.
We're
do it.
changing it now. Pakistani Pandu.
Labib Yasir.
Oh my God! I'm sure people would love calling me that. It was for one of my fights before I had a nickname. My teammates always saying crazy things like Labib the Pikachu Yasir. Like
the Pikachu?
this random stuff, you know, just to clown on me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Pakichu.
Yeah, Pikachu, yeah, whatever. So I was in the tunnel. You know, you're waiting for your.
Oh, that sounds hype.
Yeah, you're waiting in the tunnel to get like your name, the music to drop, and you walk out, right? And before you walk out, they're like, "Welcome," whatever, saying Labib, the Pakistani Playboy Yasir. And in my head, I'm so focused. The first thing I thought was literally, "What the fuck?"
Wait, so you didn't know?
No,
You didn't know?
they announced it.
Was that the referee? Like he just chose?
No, my what happened was one of my best friends, Milton, and people like Lance and like a couple other guys on my team.
Yeah.
The team always gives you your nickname. You can't choose your own nickname. If you do,
Okay.
you're like
You're a loser.
not even a loser. Like that
It's
means no one really
conceited or
loves you.
something?
Like
Yeah,
no one really
yeah,
likes you.
okay,
If you
okay.
choose your own nickname, that means no one ever really likes
Facts.
you. Yeah, that
I
means like
respect
no
that.
one going out there to wait a nickname. You just like making up your own shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I walked out and I don't know what's Labib the Pakistani Playboy Yasir. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Were you like shocked? You were just like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, this is like whoa, like, Playboy, because like.
Yeah,
'cause
Playboy doesn't have
No,
the
because when
best
you
connotation.
it doesn't have good context first of all, and when you walk out to like a stadium, like right when they hear Playboy, everyone like obviously the female audience is like, yo, like what's good with this dude?
What's good with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
dude?
What's your song? What do you come out to?
I walk out to Jeezy random, so I'm already a fuckboy coming out to it, because
Jeezy.
the song it literally says like that's my song. I've actually never lost that song ever played out.
Okay.
Yeah. And even a tournament jiu-jitsu match never lost with that song.
Dang.
He says like it's because I'm young, rich, and handsome, and like I want the world and everything and some like it's really like it's like my alter ego when I fight. Like when I'm normal,
Oh yeah, you just gotta be like an
I'm
animal.
chill, whatever. When I
Yeah.
fight, I'm cocky. I think I'm like the best
Yeah.
living. Like fuck McGregor too. Like
You have to have that mentality.
my mind is like, oh, I'm gonna win. When I win, I'm gonna get paid more one day. Like I'm gonna get more fame. There's like a different person, right? When you like go into there, and that was a fight where I knocked out the dude in 20 seconds, and then after that happened, like I can't describe what it feels to KO someone in front of 3,000-4,000 people. It's like electric. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy. Like I had a Jekyll and Hyde moment where I took out my mouthpiece, I chucked it on the ground, and I said, "Who the fuck wants it next?" Like. No thinking, just said
Yeah.
it.
Dang.
I took my mouthpiece out and I threw it against the cage, and like I slammed my chest and like I hit the cage, and I pointed at everyone in the crowd and said, I was like, "Who wants it next?" Right? Anyone? And then I was still in the high. Even on the interview, I was saying shit like, "No one under 25 or 22, because everyone I fight, they're 27, 28. I was like, no one debuting or the same record as me wants to take a fight. And I said, come get these numbers, right? Because a lot of people wouldn't accept a fight when they saw like I have fame behind me or something, because they thought, oh, what if he wins? Like the video might blow up. So I said, come get these numbers, like come get it. And I was like, different level. And I said like, come get it, like you'll get laid out too, like all this crazy shit. And from there, my coach is like, you're the Pakistani Playboy now. You said all
Okay.
this stuff. You have
Yeah,
to take that
yeah.
persona.
Yeah.
But right after
Time
the
ahead. No.
right when the high went down though, I was like, dude, to my point, I'm so like I did not mean to be disrespectful in any way. I just like no whatever, like even let the referee know, like afterwards on like the officials like, oh, I'm sorry if I acted out any way. Like I would just like the adrenaline was pumping and all
Yeah.
this stuff, and it's like an alter ego basically when you fight.
It's
So like,
attainable. Do your parents get like concerned about
oh yeah,
your health
they don't
and
come to
stuff
any of my
like that?
fights.
Oh,
None of my
really?
fights. No.
Wow.
Yeah, they came to my first fight when I was 16, and that's when I fought like a dude who was like almost 30. He's like 28, and I
Uh-huh.
got like really banged up. Like my stomach, my ribs were all messed up and shit. So
Ooh.
they never came back after that. Like it
Wow.
was really
Did
bad.
they not like it when you?
No,
like,
no, they
fight and
want to
stuff?
come though. They want to
They
come.
want-
Yeah.
But I tell them don't come because I know
It's
how they
disheartening.
work.
They
Yeah.
yeah.
When they
you
come,
just don't want them to see you like that.
Yeah, when they come watch it, like I'll be winning or doing it.
Yeah.
I just my parents are so stressed. They're so stressed.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude.
Like the first fight I had when I was 16, the Muay Thai one against the older dude, my mom like grabbed the rope almost, and they're like, yo, like this is like an actual thing, or you can't just like try to come forward. And because I was getting
dang.
beat up bad,
Uh-huh.
like I was getting kneed in the chest, like my sides were like bleeding and shit, and like it was
Ooh.
bad. So my parents were freaking out. Like I was okay overall, I was just getting beat up,
Yeah.
but my mom was freaking out. So I was like, yo, just don't come, like. Because even I'm winning, it's gonna be hard for you to watch when
Yeah.
you get hit.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Benny, one of the Fine brothers, said, "I will never come watch you fight ever, because I'll end up crying or something, no matter what
Really?
happens."
Oh,
Yeah, he's-
they like
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
sensitive.
But Rafi's like, the other brother's like, "Yo, I'm trying to come knock someone out."
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So with Benny and all the Fine brothers, like I
Staff.
guess
Mhm.
Crew.
yeah, the whole crew and like all these people from React.
Mhm.
Are you guys like a huge family now?
Yeah,
would you
yeah,
say?
very, very close. Like Benny and Rafi, I consider them like my older brothers. Like when we talk, it's like funny how we've like the relationship escalates over the years, right? Like
Uh-huh.
as a kid, like they know how to keep more PG slowly, like that. And then at one point, like this year, like we're talking about, I was like one of them saying like, yeah, man, like sometimes when you're like a 72-hour like binge of editing, you gotta make some vodka with like the Red Bull and stuff, and like
Oh, yeah,
stuff
a lot
I would
more
never,
open.
stuff I would never know about, or we just talk about more open things, or like how's life been. Like we almost talk like we're like brothers like that.
Yeah.
But before it's almost like a father figure type person talking to you like, oh, Labib, I think you should do this, or I'm proud of you for doing that. They're still like, oh, they always like, they'll send me a DM or like my birthday card. They'll be like they always say like the most sweetest things. Like Benny said, like one of the honors of my life was to see you grow up. Like I was like, that got me
Oh,
emotional. Yeah, yeah.
that's-
So it was cool seeing them.
Yeah. Is it cool like interacting with like the kids react people and then the elders react?
Yeah. The my favorite are definitely the elders.
Yeah,
the
I'm sure.
Yeah.
The elders, because like they have so much wisdom and like
They're funny, dude.
Dude, they're
so
funny, bro.
mad
They have
funny.
like, think about it. We think we're all slick and shit. They've been seeing this stuff for 80 years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of every book. They know me
Complete
like the back of their
different
hand.
perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like they say the funniest stuff, and at the same time they have so much knowledge. They've been through everything.
Yeah.
So I love seeing it, and the kids, like Lucas or Sydney, like
Oh, Lucas is so funny.
kid's a
dude.
clown.
So
Kid's a
Energy.
clown. Yeah,
There's
energy.
energy.
No, it's natural. Like
Yeah.
doing that as a kid, what they're doing, their clout is on a different level.
Yeah.
I'm 5 and I got 500K followers. Like, how do you compare
Yeah,
against it?
'cause they
Yeah.
all got
Yeah.
like social media. And
Social
everything.
media, they're
and
popping.
they go to VidCon, right?
They
Yeah.
got managers, they got all this stuff.
Oh my
Dang.
god,
It's crazy. And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, you're popping off harder than
This
me.
is like the new Disney Channel, dude. If you
Yeah,
think
YouTube is
about
a new
it.
Disney. This is a new thing.
Because
Yeah.
all these kids are like, oh, I grew up doing React, and I mean like 13 million
Dude,
subscribers,
a lot
no
of them,
joke.
yo, dude, a lot of them are assigned to like LA models or like big
Word.
things. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm
Wow.
like, it's cool seeing it. A lot of the parents, dude, they're very cool. Like like stage parents, like they like
Very
like,
involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these parents, a lot of them are React, dude, because like at React, they're pretty straight up. Like the HR department's chill. Like if you don't, they'll cut people like whatever. Like they just won't hit you back up. Like
Uh-huh.
they'll ghost you. So
Yeah.
if you're cool, they bring everyone back, and like all the parents are cool. The vibe is cool. Like when I go and I love filming. It's like I'm literally like gonna be chilling with my homies and film some videos. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Is there any beef that happens with the reactors?
Within the reactors,
Yeah.
not really. I'm sure there's like petty beef between like some
Yeah.
people like, oh, like why do you text her or some bullshit, but like
Oh, just like normal
yeah,
friends.
normal thing.
Okay.
But one thing I'll never get involved in anything. And wise words to all my boys out there: never shit where you eat. Always keep business and everything else separate. That's
Okay.
always gotta sell everyone.
Okay, so from this point on, like, what's your next big thing? Like, what are you striving for currently?
My next big thing.
And
my
like,
next
what's the
big thing.
ultimate goal too? I mean, you
My
kind of
next big
talked
thing-
about like combining all those, but like,
Mhm.
what's your next like big project? Like, what are you looking
My
at?
next big project. So, fortunately, like the last couple months have been really great with the whole YouTube thing. The channel's been growing really fast and blowing up basically. And I have a idea for like a new genre of vlog that I want to make and a couple series, which I won't say yet because I want to surprise people.
Yeah.
And people like Casey Neistat really revolutionized the game.
Oh,
Everyone was
definitely.
walking around with the little power minnow thing, vlogging like Shay Carl and stuff back in the day.
Mhm.
And then now everyone carries a full DSLR with the Rode mic. Like everyone, you have one,
Have one
Tom
right now.
have one, everyone has one now. And the Gorilla Pod, everyone
Yeah.
has one now because he basically told everyone, yo, step up your game.
Yeah.
And now his vlogs are pretty average if you think about it compared to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like one of my
Set the
homies,
standard.
Justin Escalona, like he has some crazy stuff. My friend Robert Lopez, these guys make better stuff than him in my opinion. He just has that name that people watch his stuff. He does some cool beat matching. He has like a lot of interns who do shit for him. So like he has the ability to make some crazy stuff. But I know dudes on a personal level at home with Premiere and After Effects killing the game.
Mm.
So he revolutionized the game. And then we have guys currently like David Dobrik doing like skit type vlogs, getting like legitimate actors like Josh Peck, full on like a show basically.
Yeah.
Very animated. Even brothers, like I know people don't like them, but you can't hate on success. Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they're masterminds at social media marketing. They're crazy masterminds.
Yeah.
Jake Paul created his own MC within his house on his own. People can say he's stupid or whatever. He's not. He's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's friends with Gary Vaynerchuk, one of the smartest social media guys.
Are they really? They're friends?
They're good
he
friends.
came in an
They're good
episode.
friends. Yeah, they're very smart guys. Very, very smart guys. People can retweet whatever they want. At the end of the day, they're working harder than you. That's it.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing. You might not like his message. I don't think he's a good guy. He says a lot of stupid stuff. But just because someone's positive or negative in the world doesn't decrease their smartness. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of bad people who've been smart in this, in the world. So I think they've revolutionized the game. And I want to do something like similar. I'm thinking of what I want to do. Because cinematic vlogging is getting old. Being super extra on the camera is getting old. So I have an idea that I want to do. Let's see what happens with
Word.
that.
And just to like go off of what you were saying, I
Let's
think
just
it's funny
say
that
let's just say drones are involved.
okay.
Ooh. Well,
what's
like
up.
the filming drones, right? Not
Yeah,
like
filming
the
drones. No, not those.
Drones taking over the world. Labib gang drones.
Labib gang drones flying over.
No, but like with if you look at, for example, Justin Bieber, like when he was coming up and he was like a younger guy, and a lot of people were like, okay, this guy is setting such a bad example for kids because they're all like younger kids following him. And then he like got older, and then
He's
now
changed.
he chilled out.
Mhm.
I feel like that can be the same case with like the Paul brothers or whatever. And
Exactly,
like it's like
dude.
this is what's getting their
Listen.
clout up, and then
I sometimes when I hear these normal high school kids diss talk people like Bieber and the Paul brothers, I'm like, man, you literally have zero credibility to speak.
Yeah.
You smoke weed every day. You sit on the couch. You
do
don't
the
do
same thing.
You don't do shit except you're not famous. And
Yeah.
you don't make money like them. You're not working as hard as them, dude. I don't care what they say. These kids work crazy
Their
hard.
work ethic
Logan
is
Paul
amazing.
and Jake Paul were both varsity high school wrestlers too, who went out to college. That alone knowing is they have a work ethic these kids will never know a day about. You
Yeah.
wrestled in high school. You wrestled too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what it is to cut
Oh.
weight,
Definitely.
all that stuff, and just doing that and then doing what they do now, like no, they're gonna chill
They
out.
know the work.
Yeah, think about dudes like Justin Bieber. You were literally the most famous person on earth at 19. You can get any model you wanted if you want to. You just have to double tap on her photo on Instagram, and she's yours. Literally, I'm being honest. That's what they have to do. And they can get and you still and him just smoking weed and racing a little bit is crazy. People do that 11th grade with no jobs and passing high school with the 1.0.
We're just in the spotlight
That's
of like
it. That's
every
it. Yeah,
single person.
and they're a normal
Yeah.
person too, man. And like they have more stresses, more pressures than anybody else. So if you're gonna sometimes wild out, smoke a little bit, and race, that doesn't define you your whole life. That's one chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else that you want to kind of
Yeah.
talk over at Labib if there's
Two
any? Go
questions.
ahead.
Okay, so one question is like, so I know you started your kind of fan base, Labib Gang.
Mhm.
How's that going? What are you doing around
Mhm.
that? What do you do for them usually in your videos? Like,
So it started more actually with the Zindagi vlogs. So for a long time my channel didn't have a direction. I was doing random things, random videos, whatever I felt like. But then once I actually got a DM from like a fan anonymously who's like straight up set me up straight, was like, "Yo, I love your work ethic and stuff, but your channel is not going anywhere because you don't know what you're doing yet." and she broke everything down, saying like, oh, you do a podcast, but it's kind of weak. It's like you're attempting to it, but it's half-assed. I was like, you're right. Another thing went on. You do videos, but there's no direction to where you're taking your channel. I was like, you're correct. So literally everything was positive, but set me up straight. And like I kind of freaked out that night. Like I was like, you're right. I'm not gonna get anywhere with the way I'm going. So from there, I was like, you know what? I need to like appreciate, understand what I'm doing with the fans, and like what it is for the channel. Then the whole like Zindagi vlog started. I was like, Zindagi, no one does an Urdu like. Zindagi's my life. Zindagi with Labib. It's my own vlog, my own taste. You know what I mean? I just document what I'm doing. I don't try to be extra. Like I fight, I train, I do YouTube videos, and I just document it. Just I want to see how it is and start picking up. And then from there, I was like, you know what, Labibi gang, it's a thing. Started popping off more because the whole Pakistani video I was doing. Yeah. And future things I have is merch is happening. I'm working on that. I definitely want to do merch because my sister's into fashion and stuff. Ooh. And she does a lot of the clothes I wear on Instagram are designed by her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have a couple ideas that I want to do more with the whole like Labibi gang thing. Like one of my goals is to create my own creative agency. So I have like 2 projects coming up that I'm gonna do on my own for the first time, like my clients. So that's gonna tie into it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my second question, I guess, would be like, if you don't mind, but behind all the monetization of the YouTube videos and what you get, like, do you think it's like a sustainable thing? Could people like, you know, come into LA and try to do? Is it easy, hard, difficult? Like,
it's definitely difficult, but once you find the right niche or whatever, I think anyone can make it. Anyone can make it. I'm not Fusi or something, but like, I think anyone can become a millionaire off YouTube. Why not? What's so different about me, you, Rice Gum? He figured it out. Watch Rice Gum's first vlog. He's vlogging with a Canon like S90 power shot, $100 camera. Doesn't know what he's doing, but he found what he wanted to do. His first vlog, he was hyped up. Oh, we got 1,000 views in a day, 24 hours. We got 50 likes or something like that. Yeah. And look at him now. Anyone can do it. Once you find the path and you start beating on it, it happens. Same thing like my mom was always saying like, Labib, your vlogs only get 3,000 views a day or something. I'm like, okay, and what's the point? Like it's gonna keep going. And I don't know, my video got like 100,000 views, right? The next one got 400,000 views. The next one got like 500. I was like, I'm telling you, just keep beating the stick. It's gonna happen. Once you figure out what you're doing, it happens. It's sustainable, and like it's happening. Like this trip I'm on right now, my flight was paid for. I'm getting paid to be out here. My hotel room is free. They paid for all my food. And they gave me spending money per day for like, I was a surprise. And I was like,
that's ideal, dude.
Yeah, and I never thought in a million years I would get this opportunity in my lifetime.
Yeah. I think what's cool is that you're just sort of like, a lot of people, they'll be like, you know, oh, I want to start vlogging now, but they don't actually have something to like offer it. But it's like with you, I mean, when I really started like, you know, really liking and starting to get to know you was when you started doing your Ramadan like every single day vlogs, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is fasting, and then he's also training and everything, and that reminded me of like wrestling days back in high school. I used to do the same thing. I was like, yo, this guy's so relatable, and it was just so fun watching you.
And I'll be real about it, like
you're just doing your life, you know.
I didn't fast during Ramadan during VidCon. It was last day in Ramadan. I told everyone I'm not fasting because I can't. I almost passed out while I'm driving, right? And I'm the type, like you said, I'll fast during training, but like I'm realistic with it. I'm not gonna know the guys like, oh, you know, I fasted during Ramadan too. No, man, I was eating pretzels and cheese at VidCon during in the back because I was like, I can't. I have to drive. I have 3 kids in the car with me. I'm not gonna take the responsibility of 3 dudes in me and sleepy and driving. Yeah, I can't fast at it.
That's what's respectable, is because like you keep it honest and you keep it real, and that's what's cool about like always. The vlogs is like, you know, about the sustainability thing that you're saying. It's like it's not like he's, you know, trying to make something out of nothing. It's like he's living his life, and you're just vlogging it, and it's helping you.
Whenever success happens, I show it. Like back in January, I got this this project. The first ever like huge thing I got with Microsoft and this company called IMG and William Morris Endeavor. Like this huge agency, right? Like they manage like Gigi Hadid and shit and like crazy stuff. They just bought the UFC too, and I shared it with everyone. I was like, yo, like they literally sent me a fucking Escalade from my house to go to like Palm Springs or like Attic Canyon and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna share this. Like this I was like, this is the craziest thing in my life. They took me out to a dinner. It was like a $400 steak. I was like, this is insane. I've never.
No, and that's
I was
cool.
chilling with
like,
you know like Lennar and stuff. Like, you know, Lenar from Vine and have you seen the Chief Keef Welcome to Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the guy
yeah.
from the DMV. Yeah, he was there. Like, I was kicking it with him.
that's what's
Yeah,
up.
and I was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm gonna vlog this. I would never. I'm
Yeah.
not used to this.
Exactly.
Since-
That's what it's
since-
like. I'm
since-
not used to this.
I'm not gonna act like I live this life.
Yeah.
This company sent a fucking an Escalade to pick me up from my house in the morning to somewhere in Santa Monica. Like, I've never had that in my life,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna let everyone know. This is insane, guys. They just picked me up from my house. This chef just went outside and got a fresh orange and made juice for me. That might sound so weird,
DJ
but,
Khaled stuff.
but I'm like, no, that's crazy. This guy made me fresh orange juice. Who am I for him to make me fresh orange juice? I'm gonna let everyone know this is nuts. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't care.
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I let people know.
That's what's awesome, dude. And you know, I wish you, and I think all of us just wish you the best of luck.
Same to
We
you
look
guys,
up to
dude.
you, man.
Inshallah, brother.
Yeah, no, honestly, dude, there's too much success and money in this world and everyone can get it. I don't there's too much. There's trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
There's no reason not everyone can have a piece of that. You know what
And
I
just
mean?
being like, I love that, you know, you were just like so open and everything.
Mhm.
I remember 4 years ago I sent you a video that I did in Pakistan called We Belong, and you were just like, you know, this was awesome. You weren't like, and
Uh-huh.
I didn't have any followers then either, and it was just like, I just respected you because it's just like we look out for each other, coming from like a similar background and everything like that. And that's
Definitely.
what's up. Just like being friends and like doing this podcast and stuff like that. Like
Very,
that's what.
very organic. Nothing.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening to this who follows me or Faraz or Shami or Dar, like none of this is like orchestrated or like nothing. This is organic, guys.
This is $1 million deal that we did with Labib.
Yeah, this is not, yeah, I'm not like, oh yeah, guys, they had to contact my manager and make sure I could get approved for this. They literally met the
Yeah.
FB producers at a restaurant. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go just chill with my boys right now. Like, we met through Twitter, Instagram, I did
Yeah.
on Snapchat. I think I literally hit up Xiaomi like, yo, what's your numbers? 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel like a host messaging you on Snapchat right now.
He was like, yeah, I don't want to be a Snapchat hoe. Let me get your number.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly. Yeah. So literally, like, this is organic. I want to meet them because they're cool guys, and we're here. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, that's what's up,
Dude.
man. Do you have any last words? Anything you want to say to the people?
Just always do what you want. I mean, you can get anything you want in this lifetime. Nothing's impossible, man. Like, life is crazy. Do whatever you want. It's still tripping me. I'm in Pennsylvania, like, just doing a podcast with the most random ass subjects ever in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling Tom and the rest of the gang, like, we're sitting here on our way to this thing. Do you ever think about what all the events in your life led you up to this moment?
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
dude.
Yeah.
You never know.
All the moments
That's
in your
what's-
life led up to you just doing this right now where you are.
Word
That's
up,
crazy.
word
Yeah.
up.
So I was like, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to tell people. If you want to do something, someone says you can't, tell them they ain't shit, do it, and then flex on them. That's it.
Where can people find you on the internet?
Everything's at Labib Yasir, LABIBYASIR. That's my Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Everything's the same.
say your slogan.
Yeah.
Say your slogan.
Awesome.
Stay safe, stay savage.
Hey.
Peace.
That's what's up. And last question, we always ask this at the end of every podcast. If you could describe yourself in any flavor, what flavor would it be and why?
Hmm.
You say Red Bull, I'm gonna hit you. In the face.
No, I'm thinking of this one flavor.
Coffee.
Go.
I don't know if there's a name of a flavor.
Whatever that question means
Whatever,
to you.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be like an ice cream flavor or anything. Just any flavor in general.
I think the flavor
Wow.
I am is depending on the person. Because to a lot of people, I'm the most cocky, narcissistic person who posts like Instagram model pictures, or they think I'm like a kid who trains and whatever.
What flavor is that?
Yeah, what flavor is that?
I don't know the name. It's the flavor is really up to you. It's
Describe it. Describe it.
So
Like, if
mystery
you were to
flavor?
taste it.
If I were to taste
I think
it,
you're
right?
thinking the manager special.
Is
So
it
whatever
the
is that
mystery?
day.
The mystery flavor?
Not the mystery
Mystery
flavor.
flavor.
Not the mystery
Flavor of the day.
Because the mystery flavor still has a flavor.
True.
Yeah.
It's gonna still taste the same.
Like
everyone.
I chose mint chocolate chip. He was I don't think you've ever even done it.
Well, this girl said I was what do you call? She had like a way to describe people. She said I was chocolate chip. She says you're kind of vanilla, but there's something special to you. I was like, oh, okay, but that's still too low. Me, you know what? What am I? I'll go with salted caramel.
Okay.
Most people are happy when they see me, but some people are so salty.
I love it. Labib, thank you again so much for joining us.
This was awesome, man. I don't know, what did we do, like an hour or something? Just flew by.
Yeah,
Like
it was
40
it's about exactly an hour. It's been 58 minutes.
Damn, look at that timing.
This was a blast. Everybody,
really fun.
please go follow Labib, watch his videos, support him. He's doing big things and big things coming up.
Inshallah, bro.
Um,
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
This has been another episode of Strange Flavors. Join us next time when we talk to another stranger with another flavor. Hey, watch out. Rookie but a threat, I'm Lonzo. Coming like a storm, grab a poncho. 6'1" the P Garbanzo. Look what we have here. I'm teched out, man. Where's the cashier? You low life still doing all the same things. Chasing thoughts, well, now they can't think. Boy, why you always want to be annoyed? Didn't you say nobody would hear me? Now you out here to complain about the noise? Hold up, I might just buy you a toy so I can rickroll you in a Rolls Royce. I'm a free man, got the Morgan voice, and I'm more on my poise, but you gave me no choice. I'm killing all these kids like a brother pro-choice.